You won't see it for long. Welcome to Citi Field in Flushing Meadows. The Rockies getting ready to take on the Mets. Last year they met 6 times. The Rockies lost 2 of 3 in New York. They came back and won 2 of 3 at Coors Field, so they split this season series. This year the Rockies and Mets will play 7 times, 3 here, and they'll play 4 back at Coors Field later on in the year. There's Charlie Blackmon making his way to home plate. He'll lead things off for the Rockies tonight. Here's Bud Black's lineup. Gerardo Parra will bat second. Then it's Nolan and Cargo. Trevor Story will bat 5th. He homered the other day. Ian Desmond behind him. Daniel Castro again at second base. DJ LeMahieu continues to get better. In fact, he ran a little bit today and got 2 thumbs up from the training staff. Tony Walters doing the catching to open up this series. The Rockies facing hard-throwing Zach Wheeler. And the first pitch of the ball game's outside. He's going to feature a mid-90s fastball. And he'll throw curveball and slider. It's a 4-pitch mix with Wheeler.
And he's added a split finger for his changeup pitch. He used to throw a circle change, went to a split finger now.
And there's a pretty good giddy up, and it is swung on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And I think the game plan going into tonight, talking to some of the Rockies hitters, is they're going to be aggressive on that fastball. And Wheeler does like to pitch up in the zone. We've seen 94 already. They're not afraid of that, though. And there it is right there. And you could see Lobaton set up high.
And that's a 4-seam fastball almost exclusively by Zach Wheeler. And he throws it about 57% of the time, but the league is hitting .349 against it. Lobaton wants to bury a slider down and in. He didn't do it. That was out over the plate. Very hittable for Blackmon.
At that velocity, that might have been a split finger or shook to it. I know what you're saying, Drew, that he asked for it down, and the two is usually signifies a curveball or a slider, you know, but that looked like more of a split at the velocity.
There's 96. Charlie takes it up in the zone, 2-2. Wheeler's a native of Georgia. In fact, back in 2009, he was the Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Georgia. Drafted 6th overall that year by the Giants.
That was the Steven Strasburg draft.
Yeah, that 06 draft was real solid at the top with Steven Strasburg. And there is a base hit to center field on an off-speed delivery. So Charlie wins that battle, and the Rockies in business right away.
Well, we've been talking about Zach Wheeler this year, 2-1 with the 4.09 ERA, 21 strikeouts in 22 innings. Batting average against is .247. Righties hitting .250, lefties .241. We've kind of already gone through the arsenal, what he likes to throw. That last pitch that Charlie hit to center field was a split finger, and he just started throwing that in his last start against the San Diego Padres when he struck out 9 Padres.
So Wheeler will deal with Gerardo Parra. Parra's coming off a terrific ball game on Wednesday. A couple of doubles, also threw out a single. Gerardo with his first 3-hit ball game since last September. You're going to see Parra, you're going to see David Dahl. Depends on the day.
It's an interesting challenge for Bud Black.
There's nothing wrong with a little in-house competition either,
no,
right?
Not at all.
Snap throw by Lobaton.
I think that competition is what drives a major league player. Well, they thrive on it.
A semi-overcast evening in New York. Temperature in the mid-70s, though. It's very pleasant. Yesterday, how about it got above 90 degrees. It was like midsummer.
I know. It was great. Played tourist yesterday. Did a lot of different things yesterday. Central Park, you name it, I did it.
Park was cooking.
Yeah, it was.
also got to the Book of Mormon last night.
Yes, I did. I had to get cultured, as my wife said. Get out of my baseball bubble.
Well, she's on to something. Here's the 1-1. And there's a base hit to right. Nimmo comes up with the baseball. Charlie will slam on the brakes. And he'll get back to the bag in front of that tag by Ahmed Rosario. So the first two reach on base hits. That'll bring up Nolan Arenado. That's always a good thing. Here are the Mets defensively, and there's the kid from Cheyenne East, Brandon Nimmo, former #1 pick of the Mets. He's joining the outfield by Michael Conforto and Yoenis Cespedes. Just the 7th start this year for Nimmo. Todd Frazier, the kid Ahmad Rosario, Asdrubal Cabrera, and Jay Bruce in the infield, with the former Nationals catcher Jose Lobaton behind the plate. The Mets have lost 2 catchers already this year.
I know. So they had to go to their 3rd guy in Lobaton. But he's a veteran catcher, been around.
So Nolan drove in 5 on Wednesday. And he takes strike 1. 2-run home run in the 1st. He doubled in the 6th and then hit a 3-run bomb in the 8th out onto Waveland Avenue. His last time up, he hit a rocket that was caught by Chris Bryant.
Bryant caught a few line drives in that Chicago series.
Yes, he did. And Nolan check swing foul ball. Here's some of the work Nolan did in Chicago.
Well, he's 5 for 14, including 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. Got the Rockies on the board early in games, got them off the board, or on the board again late in the game. Name it, Nolan was one-man wrecking crew against the Cubs.
It's interesting, the Mets outfield is playing rather shallow. And there's a base hit to center field. Blackman gets a green light from Stu Cole. The throw on the way to the plate is cut off, and the Rockies have a 1-0 lead. An 0-2 pitch drilled to center field. 3 straight singles, and the Rockies picking up where they left off on Wednesday.
So I guess the day off for Nolan didn't hurt him. I know he didn't want it, but what the heck? Come out with a base hit on an 0-2. Thank you very much, with the slider that's mid-thigh. He goes down and gets just a gorgeous swing from Nolan. Get the Rockies on the board.
And now with Parra going 1st to 3rd.
That was
great opportunity for the Rockies to score multiple runs here in the 1st, with Cargo at the plate, nobody out.
That was a really nice read by Gerardo. Saw the arc of the baseball coming in towards the first baseman, who was a cutoff guy. Realized that I can go ahead and get to 3rd and keep that train going.
Cargo not in the lineup on Wednesday. And he'll back out as Wheeler was taking all kinds of time. He was taking time as if Nolan's a big base running threat. Wasn't that interesting?
Yeah. Maybe he was just saying, wait, I've thrown some balls over the plate, and there's 3 hits against me. 1st and 3rd, already down 1-0. I got to do something else.
And Cargo hits this ball in the air to left. Is it deep enough? Cespedes makes the catch. Here comes Parra down the line. Throw is offline. They're going to try to get Nolan. Won't do it. Nolan tagged up. Beat the throw from Frazier. 2-0 Colorado. Good execution there on the base paths at 1st and 3rd. Cargo got it deep enough for Gonzalez, his 12th RBI, and it's 2-0 Rockies. And with Nolan moving up, he's in scoring position for Story.
Well, Cespedes kind of had a double clutch when he went in to get that baseball. He's not going to be able to get Gerardo at home, and then Cargo doing his thing, but Nolan also tagging up, understanding that if I can get in scoring position, it's going to be better. So everything that the Rockies have done so far in this inning has been textbook.
Textbook. Outstanding start. So here's Story. He mashed that home run. I showed you the highlights of it a few moments ago on Wednesday on a neck-high 95-mile-an-hour heater.
And a no-doubter then. Just watch where this pitch is. And they wanted it down, and it wasn't down, and he took it out so far deep to left center field.
Darvish couldn't get out of the 5th inning once again for the Cubs, and Zach Wheeler on the ropes here in the first. 2-0 Colorado. Lobaton blocks that. The Mets crowd, I mean, they're a New York crowd. They're not going to be real patient because yesterday the Braves beat them 11-0. 2 days ago the Braves beat them 7-0. Quick math, that's 18-0 over the last 18 innings of baseball.
Yeah, and they were outscored 21-2
in that series. They were swept.
Yeah.
Down the line, fair ball, extra bases. Nolan will come home easily. On his way to second is Story. It is 3-0. Now listen to the crowd.
That hugged the line at third base.
You can hear right in there, I think it was Buddy Black, as Dave Island comes out, the pitching coach, to talk to Wheeler. And he said great base running.
Yes, exactly. Because it sets up a lot of what's happening, and maybe even set up the pitch selection for Zach Wheeler and what he had to do. Subaru super mode. I mean, Todd Frazier just ends up kind of falling over as that ball goes down the line, but Nolan, because he tagged up and went to second, he's able to score easily. Doesn't have to worry even about a throw, pulling a hamstring, anything. And for Trevor Story, that's 12 RBIs in the last 12 ball games.
He has really been swinging it. Here's Desmond. And Desi takes a strike. Fifth double this year for Story. He has a triple and 7 home runs. He's got 21 RBIs. That leads the club. Nolan has 20 after his base hits. This is popped up shallow right. Nimmo, who can really run, is coming hard. Can he get there? He didn't make the catch. Now, not realizing it was Story, he was halfway back to second. He goes to third. Desmond to second.
Well, he caught the ball at first, and then he was run into by Jay Bruce. There was a collision. It will be a double. But just watch as Nimmo comes sliding in. He has it in his glove, but Jay Bruce kind of collides with him, trying to get out of the way. And that ball just trickles out of the glove. Closer look on the Subaru Supermo. That's a scary, excuse me, folks. That dip ball never was in his glove. Went off the thumb portion.
He had the feel. Jay
yeah.
Bruce running at him. So now the infield's in. Daniel Castro at the plate. Second and third, still 1 out.
Well, the Rockies coming into tonight were 7 for 14 or 7 for 40 on this road trip with runners in scoring position. Already tonight, 3 for 3.
Great to see the carryover from Wednesday, and it wasn't just a one-night wonder. You know this team's going to hit. Now Castro's got to really bear down here, down 2 strikes, trying to get the ball to the outfield.
Because if something happens and he gets out without anybody advancing, I think they would walk Tony early in this game to get to the pitcher with 2 outs.
You almost have to with 3 runs
right,
in already.
Exactly.
Last time Zach Wheeler, and the only other time he faced the Rockies, was May 2nd, 2014 in Denver. In 4 innings, gave up 7 runs, 4 earned, in a 10-3 Rockies win. And then he had Tommy John surgery later that year, missed all of 15 and 16. And back up the middle, a base hit. Here's Desmond around third. He's coming home. He'll score. 5-run first. Nice job by Castro. He did exactly what we were talking about. Found a way to get it in play.
Exactly. Instead of taking a big, powerful swing like he did in the first 2 strikes, which is okay, he really cut down his swing. With the infield in, just getting in play, a lot of open holes. Now, if the infield's back, this is probably going to be cut off and maybe even a 6-3. But on the Subaru Supermo, just watch. He just throws his bat at it and drives in a couple runs.
And the good speed on the base pass with the trail runner Desmond. No throw. Here's Tony. And Walters loses the bat on that foul ball.
Man, how nice is it to look up on the board and see 5 already in the first? I mean, you
I love it, huh?
You do. You never know how a team's going to come out after a day off.
Well, the Rockies threatened in the 9th inning against Chicago on Wednesday. Of course, they were up big, 11-2. They scored 5 in the 8th, so they scored 10 runs in their last 2 and 2/3.
Yeah,
No, 1/3, excuse me. Still just 1 out. It's a foul ball. This is the biggest first inning of the year for the Rockies, and already long faces on many a fan for the New York Mets.
And Zach Wheeler, as I said, had come off a start against the Padres where he went 6 innings, or 5 innings, gave up 6 hits. 2 walks, but he had those 9 strikeouts. Different story tonight.
Good eye staying off that by Walters. 2-2. Rockies 2-0 so far in May. Over 500 through the first month and a few days of March. At 12-8, they have the most road wins in all of Major League Baseball. And Walters on the ground to short. There's one, and the throw to first. Close. They say they got him. The Rockies get 5 runs in the first on 5 hits. Nice little beginning for Colorado, and Herman will have a nice little advantage as he takes the hill. They're going to look at this.
I think he's safe.
You know, I think he is safe, and that's big because then Herman will hit here in the. They're going to take a look at this.
Well, you could see
They
plain
should.
as day on the Subaru Supermo.
Good decision by Brian Jones and Buddy Black. Eric Cooper's the crew chief. And he'll be joined by Mike Estabrook, who had the call at first base.
I don't think this is taking very long. Since they just have to call New York, it's a local call.
Exactly. Shouldn't, for 2 reasons. Just what you said.
Right.
I mean, you know, as the crow flies, a few miles away.
Foot
He's
on the bag.
There's
Ball's not
yeah.
in. No, yeah,
okay,
no
we're
doubt.
done. Most of the Mets now realize it because
Well,
they're
even
wandering back to
the
their
fans
position.
here too, because they just showed it on the big board. Yep, there you go, safe.
So the Rockies will hit around in the first. And their best hitter is coming up in Herman Marquez, at least by average.
Yeah, 4 for 9, 444.
We're slaves to statistics. That's right. He's hitting 444. They may pass on him, go right to Blackman.
Not sure that's going to happen.
No? Saying that would be an unwise decision by Mickey Callaway?
Well, I think it would be. I'd like to see it, but I don't think it's going to happen.
29th pitch for Wheeler here in the first. And a ground ball to second. And now the Bronx cheer in Queens. 5-0 Colorado. That's a heck of a start. Marquez's turn as he gets ready to face the Mets, and out on the road he has a brilliant ERA of 1.59. For more on Marquez, here's my partner Jeff Houston. Jeff?
Well, thanks, Drew. 7th start of the year for Germán. We see the ERA 5.14. Well, out on the road, as you said, 1.59. He's 1-1. Opponent's hitting 257 against the fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. Out on the road, we see more sliders than we do at home, and also less curveballs. Time now for the win, and it's brought to you by Pizza Ranch. Take the 7 train. Well, that's what we have to do from Grand Central Station out here to Queens to the ballpark. It's a 7 train, but the 4 starters previous to Germán have all gone 7 innings. See how I tied that in right there, Drew? The 7 train,
I got
7
that.
innings. It's
7
a good
innings,
thing.
7 train. I'm with you.
All right, it's
I'm
a good thing. Because you think about what the starters have done, and even Germán, go back to his last start, 6 innings for him.
This is what I want different about the 7 train for Germán today. I had to take the 7 local because I came around 2 o'clock today.
It doesn't start till 3 o'clock.
Yeah,
the Express.
exactly. The 7 Express, like that fastball at 96, starts, as you said, at 3 o'clock. Brandon Nimmo, you know where he's from?
Cheyenne, Wyoming.
You got a little tie to Brandon Nimmo's family, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I was talking to him today, and also talking to my in-laws back in Cheyenne. And his dad, Ron, does my in-laws' taxes. He's a CPA up in Cheyenne.
Well, Brandon was telling us before the game, because Dad is really happy right now because April 17th, it was this year was tax day.
Yes.
Has passed, and like every accountant out there, they they go off the grid. I
haven't talked to my brother. Both
weeks.
my brothers are CPAs. I haven't talked to him for a month now.
This ball is in the air to right center field. It's going to drop for a base hit for Nimmo. So the Cheyenne kid with a knock. And let's take a look at the rest of the Mets lineup. First-year manager Mickey Callaway. Cabrera will be next, then Yoenis Cespedes. He's come on of late. He's driven in a lot of runs. He's tied for first with Javi Baez, 26 ribbies. Jay Bruce, Todd Frazier, Michael Conforto struggling right now, but he has a very high walk rate. He can swing it. Jose Lobaton, Zach Wheeler batting in the 8th spot. That's not a misprint. And then batting 9th is the shortstop, Ahmed Rosario. So here's Cabrera. Inside, knocked off the plate. This is going to get out. Well, Germán Marquez, a single and a home run against, and now the Mets kind of climbed their way back into this thing very early. For Cabrera, his 6th home run of the year.
Also gives him 16 extra base hits. That was a 6th home run, 19 RBIs. 15 have come hitting left-handed on Subaru Supermo. I mean, he knew it. As soon as he hits, it kind of gets that back leg through it. And all Cargo can do is watch it go out into that bullpen area.
Well, you better push the reset button if you're Germán Marquez. Here's Cespedes. Fastball is in there for a strike. When he's had issues this year, it's been walks and he's been up in the zone. He's struggled to get his fastball consistently down like that. That's a good pitch. It's a little off the plate.
But that's okay. Down gets you those ground balls. The other issue that Germán has had too is this first inning. He's got a first inning ERA coming into tonight at 12. The rest of the way is just 327.
Against Miami, it was the same situation. Here's the 1-2. 98 in the dirt, 2-2. Well, the Mets, with that 2-run home run, snap an 18-inning scoreless streak.
Oh, kind of got this crowd back into it a little bit, too.
close on that breaking ball. So it's 3-2 on Cespedes with Bruce behind him. The Mets, or excuse me, the Rockies against Cespedes will use 3 on the left side. And that's 2 hops at a retreating Arenado. Low throw, picked out of the dirt by Desmond, 1 out. Here the Rockies defensively. Carr goes back in there, as we mentioned. He's in right field. Blackman and Parra, the other 2 outfielders. Arenado's story. Daniel Castro has been starting since called up to play second base for DJ. Again, DJ ran today for the first time. Said he felt really good. The first day he's eligible to come off the 10-day disabled list is Tuesday, when the Rockies open that series against Anaheim. Here's the dangerous Jay Bruce. DJ also hit in early batting practice.
It's good to see DJ going out and doing some baseball things.
I was chatting with him in the clubhouse this afternoon. Huey, do you realize, Spilly may mention this, he's never been on the disabled list till now in his big league career. He never missed any time because of an injury in his minor league career. Here's a rollover ground ball. Castro has an easy play. He never missed any time at LSU. He never missed any time in high school. He's steady Eddie, man. And he's always there. So this is most unusual for him with a little strain of the hamstring.
And good thing too, it's just one of those mild hamstring strains. Because we've heard that before. Oh, it's just mild. Give it a couple days, even a 10-day, or that he'll be fine, ready to go. And how many times does that drag on for 2, 3, 3.5 weeks?
Yeah, and that's why I think Buddy Black and it's on great advice from Keith Duggar and Scotty Garrett. And the Rockies medical staff does such a terrific job. Not just saying that, they really do, because you want to get on top of these injuries now, to your point, Huey, and not say, boy, we need LeMahieu, the offense is struggling, and then you try to force him here in the early part of May, and next thing you know, he's down for 4 or 5 weeks because it's worse.
Yeah, player's going to push it.
Yeah.
He's going to feel that, hey, I need to come back and help my brothers out.
And you can't listen to a player.
No.
You know that. You're an athlete, a competitor, and he says, yeah,
we're
all
gonna
good.
lie, I'm good.
1-2 on Todd Frazier. And it looked like he may have gone. Nope. 2-2. A lot of bite on this curveball.
But closer look up from the side.
He went.
I think he did too. That's still the hardest call for
it's
first
really
baseman.
hard. Then you start gardening as a hitter.
Oh, heck yeah.
Make it look like, no, I didn't go. Castro moves over and makes the catch, though the Mets get 2. Nimmo a base hit. Cabrera hit one in the bullpen, so it's 5-2. A lot of fireworks in the first frame.
Charlie Blackmon leading off the game with a two-strike base hit to center field. We asked him before the game, the Rockies lead the National League in home runs, and they lead their third in strikeouts. Is this the type of offense that Charlie Blackmon expects to see?
I think we have a lot of team power, and I do think that as a group, right now we've been striking out a lot. I don't think we're going to continue to strike out quite that much all season. But I do think that we are not a contact-based lineup. We're a lineup that's built to hit the ball hard.
I think in this day and age, that's a pretty average statement coming from a major leaguer that's watching the changes in baseball. We already noticed, and Drew, you talked about this with me last week, April, there's more strikeouts than hits. So I think a lot more teams are taking this approach. You can live with the home run if you're able to get it, but you're going to pay a cost, and that cost has been the higher strikeouts, guys.
Nice piece, Spilligus. Now go take a shower.
Go straight to the bus, Drew.
Get on a bus, Spilligus. No shower.
You know what's great? A 5-run first inning in New York is really pleasant if you're a visiting fan.
Right?
Get him booing immediately, right?
I've heard some bad words being said around here.
3-1, 3-2. Nine to the plate in the first inning, 6 hits, 5 runs for the Rockies. They're up 5-2. Charlie fouls this off out of play. One of the interesting things about Citi Field, because it's a relatively new ballpark, there's more foul territory in front of the dugouts than I think any new park in baseball.
I would agree.
It's somewhat reminiscent of old Dodger Stadium.
I was thinking the same thing. Just the way it goes so far over to the dugouts.
This ball's hammered to right center field and deep, and that's number 11. Major league leader in home runs, trotting around the bases yet again.
Yeah, go ahead and bow, because he deserves it. 10 of the 11, as we like to reference, have come out on the road. Make sure everybody's aware of that, or the Rockies fans know it.
Last year he had 37, 13 were out on the road. He's almost caught his number from a year ago, and it's May 4th.
Yeah, that is a straight four-seam fastball on the Subaru Supermo. Now it gives him 20 ribbies on the year. So he's tied with Nolan now at 20. Trevor's got 21 to lead the ball club.
Well, he's on another, stop the presses again, he's on another 100 RBI plus pace. Harper has hit his 11th also. Ozzie Albies tore up the Mets yesterday. He had a 3-run home run yesterday.
And I don't know, it's a conundrum where to hit him in the lineup, but I really like him leading off and what he can bring to the table there.
You know, it'll be interesting how Buddy does his lineup, Huey, as Parra takes a strike. When DJ comes back, and we assume and hope it's next week, when he comes back, because he had hit DJ in the leadoff spot, I think about a dozen straight ball games, and they are all interchangeable. DJ is so versatile from a lineup standpoint. Obviously, Charlie is. Will it be DJ, Charlie, Nolan? Could be.
Possible. That's why I say it's a conundrum, because he does so many things well from so many different spots in the lineup, but just the pressure he puts on hitting leadoff.
You really can't go wrong.
No, you can't.
2-2 on Parra. 3-2 on Gerardo.
They're really making Zach Wheeler work too, because whatever mistake he's made, the Rockies have made him pay for it. They're spitting on some good breaking pitches, and now you're sitting in a fastball count.
Parra had a sharp single his first time up. And this is to second, Cabrera. One gone, that'll bring up Arenado. Folks, if the Rockies score 7 or more, and they're well on their way, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies Taco Special. Live Mazda Taco Bell. You're able to do that yesterday for the first time in a while. Nolan had an RBI base hit after falling behind 0-2 last inning. And he takes a strike. Another one.
Boy, that's about as close as you can get on the Subaru strike zone, too. Those are two pitchers' pitches.
Yeah, this game is off to a great start. When you have 6 runs on 7 hits and there's 1 out in the second, that goes under the category of great offensive start, yes. Strikeout. That's the first for Wheeler, and that'll bring up Cargo with 2 outs.
I also like the way the Rockies answered after the Mets scored 2 runs. Get a little bit of that big momentum back in your dugout.
Yep. Agreed. Cargo's enjoyed some moments here at Citi Field. He has 9 career home runs here. Outside. Sac fly in the first for Cargo, 12th ribby of the year. Good takes, quiet
Keep
for
the head
Cargo
from,
with
yeah.
the body movement.
Yeah, your body's not going out. Keeps your head still. You recognize the pitch sooner.
Charlie in the inning with a home run to right center field. His 11th of the year, and that stretches the Rockies' lead back to 4 runs. Brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. And by O'Toole's Garden Centers, putting the color in Colorado. First pitch is in there, strike 1 to begin the second inning. The Rockies up 6-2. Michael Conforto at the plate. Curveball for strike 2.
Started him off with the fastball and then dropped an 81-mile-an-hour curveball right in the middle of the Subaru strike zone. Now you got to set up for anything.
A moment ago, I said Cargo's had his moments at Citi Field. He has 9 home runs. I was looking across, and the name right above Cargo's on my list is Ian Desmond. Desmond, playing here a lot with Washington, has 9 home runs. Cargo has 3 at Citi Field. So unless Cargo, you know, if he hits 6 tonight, then he'll have 9. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the off-speed pitch is fouled off. Well, Charlie Blackmon's no longer tied for the National League lead in home runs, the Major League lead, because Bryce Harper, 2 innings in to the ball game tonight, has 2 home runs. So he's got 12 now. See you later. Strike 3. At 98, Conforto is gone. 1 out in the second, and that'll bring up the catcher, Jose Lobaton. Strikeout of the evening for Herman. Have lost 4 of 5. That's going to squeak into the outfield for a base hit. With 1 gone, the pitcher Zach Wheeler will come up in a bunting situation. Fans join in on the conversation. Send us anything on your mind. Use Twitter and include the hashtag Toyota Talk.
Zach Wheeler hitting 8th tonight. Kind of messed up my book even before I got to the ballpark, because I had already penciled him in hitting 9th, thinking Mickey Callaway, new manager.
Well, Mickey's done this one other time with Wheeler. He's done it 5 out of the 6 starts with DeGrom.
Well, I can see DeGrom because he was a position player in college.
And by the way, the Mets got really good news today after the MRI on DeGrom. I don't know if you followed this. He pitched 4 shutout innings 2 days ago and had to depart the game with a hyperextended elbow. It was yesterday. And no, it was 2 days ago. Vargas pitched yesterday. I'm sorry. And he's not going to miss a start.
That is great news for them.
Well, he's there. I mean, he and Syndergaard are their horses, but nothing against Noah Syndergaard, but he's had trouble staying healthy, where DeGrom takes the baseball every 5th day. And he has a sub-3 ERA.
Well, this was swinging the bat.
Kind of grimaced a little bit, and he told Mickey Callaway, he goes, no, it just hurts when I swing. This is interesting. It hurts when I swing. I'm good to throw. What I would like to know is how he knew that, because he didn't swing after that.
Maybe that's why he didn't swing, though.
Yeah, and how did he know that it didn't hurt him to throw until he went out there? Talk about guys, athletes lie, right?
There you go.
I'm good.
I'm good. No, really. It's just a flesh wound. I'm good.
Exactly. 2-2, and Wheeler making a nuisance of himself. One out, Lobaton at first. And he had to go to something nasty, and he strikes out Wheeler for the 2nd out. That'll bring up light hitting young shortstop Ahmed Rosario. This kid for a couple of years, Huey, has been the top-rated prospect in the Mets chain. He can pick it. I feel he has a lot of ability offensively. It's just like a lot of young players, it takes some time. Hitting just 222. And he hits a ground ball to short. Story's got it, and the Mets are done in their half of the second. We move to the third with the Rockies up 6-2 at Citi Field. Here's our Central League High-Speed Challenge question. Go to ATT Sportsnet RM on Twitter to cast your vote. This is very simple. Have you ever visited the Statue of Liberty? Been to Lady Liberty? Huey?
Yes. You have to.
I did as a kid.
Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island.
Back when I went there, you could, the spiral staircase up the arm.
When we went, it was closed off.
I think it's still closed. I don't think you could go to I think you can only go to the top of her head.
Okay.
Here's Trevor's story. But I remember that was really tight. This as a kid, I'm remembering it. The spiral staircase. And then people were coming down on the same staircase. You were claustrophobic, not the place to be.
Yeah, not where you want to go.
Trevor, a hard double down the third base line to drive in a run, his 21st of the year.
It's kind of like Alcatraz. When we go out there, you better buy tickets early, though. When we go to Alcatraz in San Francisco, you have to buy a month in advance.
You're giving me a hard time because I have to buy some this year.
Just saying.
Gaber's coming with me later, and he hasn't been there since he was tiny, and he doesn't remember.
Because I know how you don't pre-plan. You just fly by the seat of your
I'm not going to
pants.
talk for like the next 10 minutes, which is going to please everybody at home, and I'm going to go get tickets right now. 3-0 on Story. Lobato talked about him doing the catching. They lost Travis d'Arnaud, their #1 in spring training with a torn UCLA. He's had Tommy John surgery. Obviously, he's out the whole year. And then their #2, Kevin Plawecki, broke his hand. So Lobaton began the year. He was signed as a minor league free agent. He was in AAA.
He only played 5 games for Las Vegas.
Gets the phone call, which you always want, but you don't want it because somebody's getting hurt or a couple of somebody's in front of you. Now he's had to become the regular behind the plate. And a good job by Story not chasing, and a leadoff walk. So the Rockies have had the leadoff man on in all 3 innings. That'll bring up Ian Desmond. Rockies did make a roster move today. Chris Russin's back healthy, and he'll be back in the bullpen for the Rockies. Antonio Senzatello is optioned to AAA Albuquerque. You may be saying, wait a second, the last time we saw him, he pitched great. He picked up for the Rockies down in Miami when Tyler Anderson was lightheaded, and he ended up getting the win. Knocked in the only run that day. It was a 1-0 game. The Rockies want to stretch out Senzatella because they view him long-term as a starting pitcher, so he'll go down to Albuquerque and start tomorrow. So the Rockies have 4 lefties in the bullpen because Harrison Musgrave is still down there.
Yeah, and then he becomes your long guy.
Yep.
Harrison does. And I think for Antonio too, it's a case where maybe he's a little bit better suited for the starting rotation. But also he threw 60+ pitches. I forget the exact number. So he's not far along or far behind as far as stretching it out.
Yep. Ball and a strike on Desmond. 6 for 18 lifetime against Zach Wheeler.
That blue double in the first inning. Keep things going.
This ball hammered to deep left, but it's going to turn foul in the second deck. Did you watch his BP today? Desi looked like, I didn't ask him about this, but it looked like he really was focused on hitting the ball in the air.
Well, he's hit a lot of ground balls this year. I mean,
more than anybody in baseball by percentage.
Exactly. So he's trying to get a little bit more of that launch angle working.
Perhaps a running count, 1-2. Story leads the club with 5 stolen bases.
He's really picked his spots this year too. He's just had a real good feel of when he thought it was going to be a breaking pitch. He's getting very nice, great leads over at first. Hasn't been caught yet. A lot of positives for Trevor in the running game. Rockies have 20 stolen bases as a club.
He takes off, swung on and missed, throw to second. Not going to get him. Nice backup by Rosario, so that didn't go into the outfield. Then they got the wind knocked out of him. Or you got, actually, Truck's telling us, because they had the video, other angles, that he may have got the hand stepped on.
And it will be his left hand too. Watch. Oh yeah, it's the left foot of Cabrera. Watch on the Subaru Supermo. But I will say this, he's got the rubber spikes on, doesn't have the metal spikes, so it's going to hurt a little bit less than if he had the metal to dig into the skin. Not saying it feels good, but feels better than it could if those were metal spikes digging into your fingers.
Jeff, I can't remember, forgive me. It wasn't that long ago, but were you a head first guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
and
I
you
think
can't get that because remember he hurt his.
I know.
He missed 2 months his
That's
rookie
why
year.
That's why he wears the thing on his left hand.
Right. And I think this is hopefully just a pain thing.
But the problem is with the way the new rules are and coming off and losing contact of the bag, you have to go head first because that's the only way you stay in contact with it. If you slide with your feet hit that bag, they pop up, you momentarily lose contact, they tag you, you're out. So they want the players to be safer, yet the rules, the way they're designed and written right now, sometimes doesn't allow you to be a safer ball player.
I really thought they were going to amend that. We chatted
I did too.
A great deal about that last year. That was not the intent of the rule. Castro is Story at second and 1 out. First pitch is in there for a strike on Daniel. He fell behind 0-2 and then produced a 2-run single, just kind of reaching out on a breaking ball. May have been off the plate, and he poked it up the middle against the drawn-in infield.
Just make contact.
3 ribbies for Castro since coming up a few days ago.
Well, it's something that's been needed from the bottom portion of the lineup.
You know what else has been needed? Success, Jeff, against right-handed pitching. The Rockies came in, this is just amazing, last in baseball with a .212 average against righties. And today, they've already thrown out 7 hits against Zach Wheeler. Lobatone has a play. Well, let's see how the Mets play this. Down 6-2, third inning. First base is open. Tony Walters at the plate, with the pitcher residing on deck. They're going to go at him.
Well, at least for a pitch or two, and then see what happens. Longtime pitching coach Mickey Callaway getting his first managerial opportunity.
I'd say quick story about Mickey. When he was up and down, as so many players are throughout his big league career. When he was pitching for the Angels, you know who his pitching coach was?
Bud Black.
One Harry Black. Yep. Down the line, foul. 2 strikes on Tony. A little bit more on the resume of Mickey Callaway. It was 2008 when he got his first job as a manager. It was Texas A&M International. He was a head coach. He was in college baseball. Not Texas A&M and College Station. Texas A&M International.
Or Corpus Christi.
Right. And he did that for a year, and then went back and played, I think, independent ball for a year, and then he got back involved in coaching. Thought of already as a player's manager. Very affable guy. This is a hard ground ball. Diving stop by Bruce. He just saved a run. Jay Bruce, really more of a right fielder than a first baseman, robs Walters and prevents Story from scoring. 6-2, middle of 3. Earlier today was designated for assignment. Now, he was removed from the rotation about a week ago, moved to the bullpen. Yesterday he pitched, and he had an inning and a third of good baseball, and then he gave up 5 in his third inning of work. And the Mets asked him today, Sandy Alderson, their longtime general manager, said, "We'd like you to take an assignment to the minor leagues." And he said, "I understand this is, tough news to hear. Think about it, talk it over with Scott Boras, your agent, and let us know." That meeting came at 3:15. At 4 o'clock, the Mets held a press conference stating that Matt Harvey was designated for assignment. So Matt Harvey didn't want to take any time to think about it. He rejected outright the Mets' overture at him going down to work on some things in the minor leagues, and
kind of remaking himself.
And when he met with the media, talking about Alderson. He said, you know, it's the end of an era. He said, since I've been here as general manager, Matt Harvey's been one of our cornerstones. And early on, he was very good. But it's been a while since he's been good. Last year was a rough year for Harvey, and this year he has an 0-2 record with a 7 ERA. He's no longer, and he's a New York native, he's no longer a Met. And we'll see what the next chapter brings for Matt Harvey. Swung on and missed, and Nimmo goes down.
Well, for Matt Harvey, you have to go back to 2015 since the last time he's won, and the only time he's won double digits in his career. 13-8 that year.
Yeah, sometimes you know, especially, and Huey, you played a long time, and now we watch it from afar. If something happens in New York, I mean, with the tabloids and with the size of the city and the national media, it becomes raised exponentially, and that's good and bad. So when you do some good things, all of a sudden you're the second coming of so-and-so, and when it goes the wrong way, you know, you're the biggest bum in the world. Well, in the case of Matt Harvey, he was anointed, you know, Tom Seaver,
right,
without quite the track record.
And you look at, I mean, you just have to go over to the Bronx. Look at Stanton and what happened with him. 5 strikeouts opening day, and they're booing him immediately.
Well, and that was after in the first ball game he played in, he had 2 home runs.
Right.
You have to have a thick skin wherever you are these days, but particularly if you're playing in New York. It's on the inside corner. It will be interesting because whatever team decides to take a flyer on Matt Harvey, he's still a young guy. He's going to have to, you figure, go down to AAA with whatever club decides to sign him.
Oh, exactly.
Because something's not right.
No, but here's the deal, though. If I'm Matt Harvey, and I think he needed a break here. I think they needed a separation. I don't think he was going to fit here anymore. But you had 2 guys here that are pretty good pitching in Mickey Callaway and Dave Eichel. Well, they were well respected within the industry and what they could do. If they couldn't get Matt Harvey right, I mean, it's going to be hard, but it's going to have to be a little bit up to Matt too to take some advice.
Well, and it's not only that. I mean, he more than ruffled a few feathers a couple of days ago when he, on an off day, this is ripped foul by Cabrera. You know, when he was in Los Angeles, supposedly out late, and Alderson was quite frank that he was displeased by that. I'm sure some teammates were displeased by that.
That's what I'm saying. They needed a separation.
Yeah. Well, they have one now. Again, he was designated for assignment. 3-2 on Cabrera, strike 3. And Cabrera, who hit a 2-run home run his first time up, is the 4th strikeout for German Marquez. He struck out 3 of the last 4, in fact.
88 miles an hour. And that was a dandy changeup on the Subaru Supermo. And almost had a little split action to it as it was going down and away from Cabrera.
Well received as always by Walters, and that'll bring up Cespedes, who hit a 2-hopper to Nolan back in the first inning. Strike 1 on Cespedes. And another chance for Nolan. And he'll throw out Cespedes, and it's a 1-2-3 third inning for Marquez. Rockies up 6-2.
Neck. Earlier this week, he had the most expensive double in baseball. And sliding into second base, he accidentally ripped his necklace filled with diamonds that he's had for over 7 years. His teammates came out, grounds crew came out, I came out, brought some presents back for my friends and family when we get back from New York to Denver.
Is that why I saw you out there with the metal detector thing?
Yeah, it's totally the beach. I was that guy, beach metal detector guy, which is one of the worst types of people ever.
You had your headphones on, the whole 9 yards, right?
So
flip-flops with socks.
I asked the guys.
Dark side.
I asked Mickey Callaway about that necklace, and he said, you know what? That necklace wasn't. It was expensive, but it was also made from a friend, and it had a lot of hits in it. So he was obviously upset. He's had it for 7 years, so you can understand it. Come on.
Yeah, but when you have 25 diamonds on a necklace, that's going to make you upset, though, right? 25.
There's a lot. Some of the guys were teasing that they weren't real diamonds; they were cubic zirconium.
Ouch.
Marquez fouls that pitch off right side. Jay Bruce is going to have to play one out. Cubic zirconium. Did you wear any jewelry when you played?
Just
you wore a cross?
No, the necklace that I have. Still have it.
I know, with the baseball glove. You were wearing that when you played?
Yeah. Yeah, with the diamond on it. Yeah, I wore that when I played. That's a real diamond too.
I'll rip that thing off your neck. I'm going to throw it to Jonas. He's down a diamond. He only found 24 of them. Charlie's been a tough out for Zach Wheeler.
That's
single and a bomb.
As close as I got to a gold glove.
Is that it? Well, if somebody asked you, did you ever win do you have a gold glove?
Yeah, I said
absolutely
yes,
have a gold
of course.
glove. 2-0.
Let's go back to Charlie's home run in the second. They come in slugging .608 on the year, and that number will go up after this home run. Keep the Rockies back to a 4-run advantage.
Wheeler has not come close to the strike zone. It's 3-0. Rockies with 29 home runs out on the road. That's the most in baseball, one more than the A's. Ball 4. So Blackman draws a 1-out walk, and here comes Gerardo Parra. Parra single and a ground ball to second.
Zach Wheeler, 74 pitches.
Parra is a lifetime .307 hitter against the Mets. We always say there's just some clubs, guys for whatever reason, hit well against. This is a base hit, and Charlie will stop at second. That .307 average will head up a little more. 2 on now for Nolan.
Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason for it. Just feel good.
Well, listen, Monk Colombo, here's the deal. It was kind of a metaphor for, you know, you're going to go out there, try to find the diamonds. Whatever the thing would be that would find diamonds, maybe not a metal detector, but beachcomber guy. We could see Spilly doing that late morning when nobody's around.
A visual.
Right.
And who knows, maybe we were thinking the chain was still partially connected to some of the diamonds.
Guys, I would be out there like a gold panner. Okay,
okay, there you go.
I'd have the water, I'd have the pan.
Exactly.
Gold's a metal, right?
Well, yes, it is.
Listen, I got to think back to chemistry.
Yeah, we're not even sure now. Call this out on that.
No,
now
I'm
I got my bet like, oh boy.
Yeah, no.
Didn't have time to Google it. We're just having some fun.
Recalling that segment of my education. Not good.
No.
1 ball, 1 strike. Mr. Kelly, I apologize. I don't remember. This is a pop fly to right center. Nimmo will make the catch. 2 outs.
Hey, trust your gut, pick the right player, and get one step closer to winning $5.6 million. Download Beat the Streak today in the App Store or on MLB.com/BTS. Beat the Streak.
Cargo sac fly in the first inning, and he grounded to second in the second inning.
Healthy rip there by Cargo at a 93. They're third on the Subaru strike zone.
How bad my memory was. I was thinking gold, the
You're
number.
still on
I
that?
know I'm on it because I was like thinking of the periodic table. I'm thinking it's is it AG? Oh, it's AU, dummy. Of course, the atomic number is 79. You remember that?
Yes.
This ball is golf to left field. Cespedes will make the catch, and that ends the inning. Hey, stick around. We always advise you to stick around, but coming up in 1 minute, we'll go to the Rockies dugout, visit with Buddy Black. Always kind enough to join us. Buddy, by the way, on the periodic table had the same as me.
AG.
AG, it's silver.
Yeah.
Hey, Buddy, you know what was gold? That first inning offensively.
That was. We strung some hits together. It was great to see. Line drives everywhere. We got a break with Desi's ball. And Castro, good at bat with 2 strikes, got that breaking ball and hit it up the middle. Good stuff.
And for Herman, too, he goes in and gives up the home run. Gives a couple runs back, but since then just 1 hit, 4 strikeouts, been pretty solid.
Yeah, bounced back nicely. Like the use of all 3 pitches. Change up as good as we've seen it all year, which is a really, really good sign.
Hey, Buddy, good luck the rest of the way. We appreciate it.
Got it, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, buddy.
Ready to go is Herman, and he gets a swing and a miss from Jay Bruce to begin the 4th inning. That's that 2-run home run. You're right.
Yeah.
He has settled in nicely. Bruce grounded to second his first time, and he's in a hole 0-2.
Well, and the only hit was that seeing eye base hit up the middle by Lobaton.
Now, Jay is going to finish this series. At least he's scheduled to finish this series against the Rockies, and then he's going to head back down to Houston, his off-season home, because his wife is about to give birth with their second little 2-year-old son at home. That is strikeout number 5 for Marquez. The Mets made some moves during the offseason, which was quiet for so many teams. Late in the process, they went and signed Adrian Gonzalez, who Rockies fans know well from all his time in San Diego and Los Angeles. Todd Frazier moved from the Yankees to the Mets. Todd's been good so far. Jay Bruce, kind of after exploring other options, he really liked it here in New York. Signed a 3-year deal to stick around. And you know, Jason Vargas with the Mets, and it's been a rough go for Jason the last couple of starts.
The start yesterday was not good at all.
On Frazier. He and Conforto hitting back-to-back, Huey. They draw a lot of walks. That's a nasty slider.
Well, Frazier 20 walks, Conforto 18 walks. But he was talking about the split finger changeup. This is a hard slider on the Subaru Supermo.
It's up and in. 3-1 on the Jersey kid.
Always been a big Todd Frazier fan.
If you don't like Todd Frazier, it's on you, because this guy loves life. Always big smile, fun to be around, great teammate.
Speaks the truth too.
Oh yeah, he's very candid.
8 seasons. Wow.
Frazier pops it foul, out of play. Marquez just working at 97, 98.
Easy cheese.
I was looking this up earlier. Do you realize it's been almost 2 full years since David Wright has taken it at bat?
I was thinking about him earlier today. I didn't realize it was that long though.
And a little extra giddy up, and Marquez wins the battle with Frazier. Strikeout number 6.
4 of the last 5 guys that he's faced, he struck out.
5 of the last 7.
Country fastball for Todd Frazier on the Subaru Supermo. I was talking to Ron Darling before the game, and Ronnie's a counterpart over on the Mets television side, and we were talking about Marquez a little bit, and he said, man, I just really like the way he pitches. Obviously his arm is very good, but just the way he goes out there and competes.
Change up. 2-0 on Conforto. Conforto last year, in a little more than 100 games, hit 27 home runs. But he's had trouble getting going this year. He was hurt initially.
5 for his last 35.
Yeah, 5 for his last 35. But he throws out at least 1 walk every game, so his on-base percentage is very good. Stayed off that curveball. 3-1. He's reached in all but 1 game this year.
I like that. Okay, there's 2 outs. 3-1 count. You're up by 4.
How far can you hit it? Let's
right,
go.
I'm going to challenge you.
There's Lobaton on deck. Rockies hope not to have to worry about him till next inning. Another 3-2 change up, and that's all. That is 3 straight strikeouts in the inning. 6 of the last 8, 7 overall. A beautiful splitter there for Marquez. T-Mobile, did you catch this earlier? Ichiro, this is different. Not that he's moving into a front office role with Seattle. What's different is that Ichiro is going to be in uniform every day and going through the same process he normally would to get ready to play. He's going to hit, he's going to field, and then he's going to go to the clubhouse and he's going to be a sounding board for players. He's going to look at video. He's going to assist in the front office. He is not officially retiring as Trevor Story fouls off that curveball. And the reason that we surmise is that next year, Huey, and you had this luxury back when you were playing, the Mariners are opening the season in Tokyo. They're going to play 2 exhibition games and then 2 regular season games. Hard on the ground at third. Frazier was guarding the line, and they'll throw out Story. And then 2 regular season games against the Oakland A's. You can expand your roster for those 2 ball games because it's in the Far East by 3.
28.
You have to believe. I mean, Ichiro is as big or bigger than LeBron in Japan.
Yes.
That he will be on the field as a participant, at least for those couple of ball games.
Exactly. Just so they can, the fans can enjoy Ichiro in uniform again. And you have to believe that something was discussed even before they signed him again. That something was up as far as the plan. If things didn't work out playing wise, that you could still be around, and just one of those icons.
4-3 on the putout for Cabrera. Desmond retired. That'll bring up Castro with 2 outs. So at this point, the 44-year-old has 3,089 hits. Remember, it's 3,000. They came
triple
against Chris Russ in a triple at Coors Field. 3,089 hits in the big leagues. 1,278 hits in Japan. .311 career average in the big leagues. A first ballot slam dunk Hall of Famer.
No doubt about it.
And Cabrera charges with a bare hand to throw out Castro. And for the first time tonight, Zach Wheeler works a 1-2-3 inning. Rockies leading 6-2. Time for the Lowe's whole team together. Whole team together, fielding percentage. Charlie has yet to make an error. Desmond's yet to make an error. DJ has yet to make an error. Parra has been Sensational in the outfield. Trevor Story, very steady at shortstop. Made a sensational play the other day to rob Addison Russell when the Rockies were playing at Wrigley. The defense should be a strength with Nolan and Story on the left side, DJ and Desmond on the right side. Very capable outfield as well. One strike on Lobaton. He had a base hit his first time up. Off-speed pitch, down low, 1-1.
Very aggressive tonight with his fastball, and then that is helping his off-speed pitches.
That wasn't even his A fastball.
No.
You may see it here. In the air to Gerardo in left, 1 out. It'll bring up Zach Wheeler. Mets last year had a rough season, 70 wins, 92 losses. In 2016, they were in the wild card game. The year before, they were in the World Series, got beat by the Royals. So 2 of the last 3 years they've been in the postseason. They felt like they could compete again for a postseason spot. Even with the rough 5 days in which they've lost 4 out of 5, they come into tonight's play 17-11, trailing after being swept by the Braves, the Atlanta Braves, by a game and a half. This ball is hit well by Wheeler, and it's a base hit. A 1-out single for Wheeler. I said 17-11. How about 17-12? The point being that the NL East in the early going, a little bit of a surprise because the Nationals are in 4th place. The Phillies have played well.
The Phillies coming into tonight 17-13. Washington's at 500. And Miami's 11-19. I think what's maybe surprising everybody, at least early on too, is Atlanta at 19-11
with some kids.
Yes.
Ronald Acuna's in there. We've talked a number of times about what Albies has done. Ozzie Albies.
Well, they just called up Joey Bats today.
Imagine he's Dougie's he in the lineup tonight? I would think if they brought him up, Batista's in the lineup.
He's going to be playing third base.
Rosario bounces it foul. 2-1.
This kid reminds me a little bit of the kid in Milwaukee, Orlando Arcia. How he had the glove. I mean, you know, he could pick it. It just was his back going to catch up.
Yep, that's fair. Whoa, look out. 3-1.
Intentional up and in on the Subaru Supermo. Seemed to have to leave his feet.
Wheeler's hits now stretch of 9 in a row retired. Joey Bats is hitting 5th, playing third base tonight for Atlanta. Checked on Mark Reynolds. Mark Reynolds was signed in mid-April by, when the Rockies were out there, by the Nationals to a minor league deal. And he has 11 at-bats going into today with 1 hit so far. Trying to get his legs underneath him, see what happens with Reynolds and the Nationals organization. 3-2 on Rosario, and that's another foul ball.
If you go back out there again with the fastball outer third, I think you'll be able to get him. That was up on the Subaru strike zone, back to where pitch 7 was. I just don't think you want to throw him something with a little wrinkle on it if it hangs and it speeds up his bat.
Rosario, he's fouling him off. This will be the 10th pitch coming up. Well, he went slider, and it's in the air to Parra and left. 2 outs.
Fans, download the MLB Ballpark app, the official app of Coors Field, to purchase and access digital tickets, upgrade your seat, and play Pick 3 every home game for your chance to win prizes.
Here's Brandon Nimmo, a single in the first, and he struck out swinging in the third. Played his American Legion ball for Post 6 in Cheyenne. They've had a nice run up there, Post 6.
They have.
And the reason we mention American Legion ball in the state of Wyoming, they don't play high school baseball.
Oh, so that's your only opportunity. Go out and play and go all around down to Greeley, Fort Collins. You'll go over to Omaha and play in the tournament, in the College World Series.
Nimmo's older brother was quite a player also. He played at the University of Nebraska.
They went to different high schools.
The older
he went to
his
Central.
brother and his sister went to Central, and he went to East. So his brother was such a stud there, they wanted him to be able to carve out his own path. I think he did.
Yes, he did. Well, there's some questions too at the draft time. You know, how high would he go? He has the tools here, but the knock was he hadn't played against the great quality player. So they were a little concerned of, you know, would it translate? Well, I think the answer is yes, indeed.
He had signed with Arkansas, and it's a great story. And surprising by today's standards, Huey. He's watching the draft at home. I mean, he knew he was going to get drafted, and he knew there was a chance he was going to get drafted fairly high. But there were some teams, as you said, they were a little concerned about level of competition. So he's at home watching the draft with his family, and the Mets, who liked him, this will end the inning. Their selection's up, and on television say the selection's in. He goes, well, the Mets aren't taking me. His phone didn't ring.
Right.
And then they said the New York Mets, with the 13th selection in the first round, select Brandon Nimmo, outfielder from Cheyenne East High School, and he's like almost fell off the couch. And then after the phone call came. Good stuff. 6-2 Rockies. Sixth inning, if you're just joining us, the Rockies got 5 runs on 6 hits in the first inning against Zach Wheeler. They added a run in the second on a home run by Charlie Blackmon. Charlie will hit third this inning. It's Walters, Marquez, and then number 19. Wheeler has retired 5 in a row. Rockies actually had threats going in the first 4 innings. Last inning was a 1-2-3 inning. Walters robbed of what would have been an RBI single in the third on a diving stop by Jay Bruce. At the knees for a strike. The Rockies have swung the bats well against Mets pitching the last 4 ball games, 5 ball games really. This ball clubbed high and deep right field. Stay fair, and it's gone. Home run, Tony Walters. His first of the year.
Do it, Tony.
This will be interesting when he gets to the dugout, because they
Silent
love
treatment?
to give him a hard time. He doesn't hit him that far frequently.
Silent treatment is, I think, is what he's going to get.
He may just get that. Yep, nothing.
Nothing.
You
Crickets.
get crickets. I just had that sense.
I like that. Imaginary high fives. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
That is great. That is classic. You know what I love? I love the reaction of the player. Tony was awesome. But I love how, and you've lived it before, Billy lived it, how hard it is to keep the straight face when you're in the dugout.
It is. You're sitting there going, well, I just hit a home run, guys. Come on. I give everybody else high fives. But that was classic.
And remember,
And
he didn't hit a big fly last year.
No,
either.
I know. And then that one went into the second deck.
Oh, it was classic. That was awesome.
Those are the little things.
Colorado.
You know, when players talk about missing the game, those are the little things. Like the silent treatment right there.
Yeah.
That's what you miss as a player when you're no longer in that uniform.
And you just knew it was coming.
Yes.
Guys, I was down here while the dugout was reacting to it. Nobody's happier than the dugout when they're watching it hit this ball into the second deck. They're all looking at each other. Are you kidding me? Tony did it. Then it's Gerardo Parra basically telling all his teammates, hey, we're not going to shake hands with them, and everybody just starts smiling. All right, and you're gathering your game face.
Sharply hit, but right at the first baseman, Bruce.
Great.
2 outs.
I mean, this was a no-doubter from the get-go.
This was where the big boys hit.
Yeah.
And look at that. That's 7 rows back in the second deck.
Hey, nice guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I was paraphrasing what he was saying.
Yeah. Even Spilly was down there blowing them off.
Yeah, that's the point. Silent
You have
treatment.
to.
Yeah.
Right, though, Spilly? Those are the little things you miss.
I'm telling you, the guys were as excited for him as anybody. Like, they were really, really excited for him. And that's good to see. That tells you that the Rockies' offense is starting to come around. Look at the numbers that they've put up so far. We got Tacos, too.
Yeah, Tacos also. Tony's last home run, August 17th, 2016. Spilly didn't even have a beard then. That's how long ago it was.
4th be with you. Star Wars was unveiled back in 1977. Charlie Blackmon, a huge Star Wars fan, as are a bunch of other players on the Rockies team. It's unfortunate, though, however, Carlos Gonzalez has never seen the movie. And check out this reaction from the two of them.
You've never watched Star Wars before?
No, not even one.
The most un-American thing ever, which is okay, I guess, because he's Venezuelan.
The chance to catch one of the movies, so I don't understand. I don't know their names, so I know one of them looks like Charlie.
What? Chewbacca?
What does he know? What does he know? He can't be throwing out accusations like that. Never seen the movie.
Gerardo Parra with the ridiculous over-the-shoulder grab, as if he was some sort of Jedi Knight in left field. Cargo said that Charlie Blackmon looks like a Wookiee, that he looks like Chewbacca. Charlie eventually said to Cargo that he's going to show him the first Star Wars trilogy and get him hooked up.
You know what? I love Cargo for many, many reasons. And I'm like Cargo. I saw the first Star Wars, like 2/3 of it.
Fell asleep?
It was 1977. I was at camp, and I had a date, and I was more interested in my date than watching the rest of the movie. And I never saw the ensuing.
You never?
I never saw any ensuing films. I'm not a Star Wars guy. I'm like Cargo.
I've seen him.
On the ground through the vacated right side, a base hit for Cespedes with 1 out.
They said I tried to hit a ground ball to the left side. Nolan gobbled those two up. I'm going to do something different.
Yeah. How about that catch by Parra?
Yeah, I mean, he had to turn and run.
The wind must have got this.
Watch this. This is not an easy play when you're looking over your shoulder and then have to reach out. He made that look like it was just a routine play, and it was anything but.
Jay Bruce, ground ball to second and a strikeout. And Cargo's going to have to field it on a hop. He's going to try to get the force.
Oh.
He almost did.
That was just off the mark. If it's on the mark, he's out. That's an out at second base.
Cespedes kind of took a look at it there for a second.
Well, Cespedes has to stop. Not sure what's going to happen. And Trevor Wisely coming off the bag.
Steve Foster's going to join this conversation with Tony Walters. Chris Russin has gotten up, again, just off the disabled list today. The pitch count is such that this is going to be the last inning, you would figure, for Herban. You want to get through it cleanly, naturally, and not let the Mets somehow back in this game. 7-2, the Rockies are up, and you have a dangerous guy at the plate, Frazier.
Well, and you see the 97 pitches. He also had 113 pitches in his last start, which was a career high. But he did have an extra day of rest. And the other thing, too, is you're looking beyond this series. Rockies have another off day on Monday before they start the series at home against the Angels.
Todd Frazier, a pop out and a strikeout. Slider just off the plate. Bruce Dreckman took a look, said no.
But I like the call because he struck Frazier out on a fastball, thinking he's going to ambush another fastball first pitch, because that's what happens after a pitching coach comes out. How many times do you see it? First pitch fastball.
Sure. And it's 2-0.
Brian Shaw has joined Chris Russin out in the Rockies bullpen. And I think this is maybe where you can mix and match too if something happens with Todd Frazier with the left-hander and Conforto up next.
Yeah, Buddy may very well do that depending on what happens here. So often when a pitcher gets fatigued, when we wonder, we say, well, you know, the velocity's still good. A lot of times it doesn't show up in lack of velocity,
No,
it shows
command.
up in lack of command.
Right. Legs start to get just a tad bit tired.
He can throw it as hard, but it's just not going where they want it. This should be 2. Swinging 3-0, and that worked.
he dropped
wow,
it.
Desmond
Just
dropped the baseball. Well, that's a shame. That's an easy inning-ending double play. Look how it popped out.
I mean, this is hit so hard. Nolan, good feed to Daniel. He makes a strong throw to first. Oh, that's just off the thumb. And Frazier was even pulling up knowing it was a double play.
Now, that will be an error. You can't assume a double play, but in that situation when the throw's right there, that is the correct way to call it because the runner was out, would have been out clearly. So it's the first error of the season on Desmond. Conforto's 0 for 2, and he's behind 0-2.
If Herman can get out of this, it shows you a lot of the kid's makeup. You know, falling behind, had a chance to get out with a double play, drop, but now he's ahead 0-2. Finish strong right here. Make a pitch.
He got him.
Wow.
At 96. That's a great job holding on to that baseball on the foul tip by Tony Walters. Couple hits. There was an error, no harm done as Marquez picks up Ian Desmond. 7-2 Colorado heading to the 7th. Two hitters into the bottom of the first, and then he shut the door. He ends up, and I'm assuming his evening is done, and by the handshakes that we noticed during the commercial break, I'm sure he's done. 6 innings, the 2 runs, 6 hits, Huey, 8 strikeouts, and as you like to point out,
0 walks.
Nobody.
Yeah, 105 pitches, 69 for strikes, had 5 ground ball outs, 4 fly outs.
And on the ground deep in the hole, Rosario, and I don't think he got him on the swipe tag. Now as Nolan veered off, he's all right. He'll take a nice slow walk to first, get busted up the line. An infield hit for Nolan. leading off the 7th against Zach Wheeler.
Oh, ball in the hole. Rosario just couldn't get the body turned enough. That's the key on this play, is watch the upper body. Doesn't get turned enough, so he ends up throwing. And as you do that, the ball starts to tail back towards the runner, and then tried the sweep tag on the Supermo. Not close.
You know, you appreciate Trevor's story, and before him, Troy Tulowitzki. They make that play look semi-routine with the accuracy on their throws.
Right, that's the key, the accuracy. And sometimes that jump throw might be a little bit easier to get that body turned.
Which were you better at, going to your left up the middle
I was
or
to
going
my
to your
left.
right? Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't have the arm strength that these guys had. So that was a longer throw, a little bit tougher, where the ball would start to die as it got to first base.
2-0, don't feel bad. Their arm strength's off the charts. Some of these guys.
Yes,
Tulowitzki, obviously. Story.
But so how did I compensate for that? I play a step or two more in the hole, because I knew that I had the good range to go to my glove side.
Makes sense.
So you compensate that way.
That's using your noggin.
Yeah, every once in a while, that Wyoming education comes into play.
Absolutely. 3-0 on Cargo. Wheeler approaching 100 pitches. Well, it didn't look like he was going to be around the 7th the way this thing started. And now the Rockies have 2 men on with Story coming up. We'll see if we see Mickey Callaway. Yeah, we will. Mickey Callaway took 1 step out of the dugout, and he indicated he wants the right-hander. I know Seth Lugo was down there a little while ago. It will be Seth Lugo. 2 on, nobody out. Rockies leading by 5.
These gift cards can be purchased in multiple denominations and redeemed for game tickets at Rockies Dugout stores or for merchandise and concession at Coors Field. New pitcher for the Mets, Seth Lugo, 1-0 on the year, 3.31 ERA. He is in descending order: a fastball, curveball, slider, changeup mix. He starts off Trevor with the first pitch curveball.
Trevor tonight, an RBI double down the third base line, a walk and a ground ball to third. Two on, nobody out. Nolan at second, Cargo at first. going to go foul. So the last 9 games with the work of Marquez tonight, the starting pitchers for the Rockies have fashioned a 182 ERA. One and two.
Herman came in with a 5.14 ERA. He lowered it just with tonight's action to a 4.76. Zach Wheeler, his went up on the evening.
Came in at 409. And he's responsible, obviously, for the guys on base. 2 and 2. The other thing, and we made note of this, we've made note of this many times in the past. Herman's a young guy, he's 23. But we've seen just how tough he can be mentally. Little blip on the radar screen early, and he'll put his foot down. He did it against Miami. He did it tonight. Again,
yes,
2 hitters in. Cabrera hits a 2-run home run.
Well, and he also did it too with the drop at first base.
Yeah, I said, no problem, I got you.
I got you. I'm going to pick you up. Well, the Rockies came into tonight's game with the 3rd youngest average age for the Rockies for their starting pitching. Only St. Louis and Cincinnati had lower. And he's part of
last year the Rockies had the
yes.
youngest rotation in baseball. Now it's like Halloween. You're out of the game, you can pick your candy. 3 and 2. And that's strike 3. That'll bring up Ian Desmond, a double and 3 trips tonight. Guess what we have? We've got tacos. The Rockies have hit the magic number of at least 7 once again. Do not forget to go to your participating Taco Bell locations tomorrow between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. La Masa Taco Bell. Desmond set to go. Lugo taking his time, so Des will back out. So the Rockies got their 7th run when Tony Walters hit one well into the second deck and right. It was his first home run, we said, since August of 2016. He had gone 318 at bats without hitting a home run. There's only one position player that had gone longer, or has gone longer, and that's John Jay. There's a base hit to center field. Arenado around third. He's coming home. He'll score easily as that throws way off line. And Ian Desmond has an RBI single, his 14th RBI of the year.
Second hit tonight for Ian. A flat slider off the end of the bat on the Subaru Supermo. Pretty strong, and even catching it on one hop in center field. Conforto way off the mark. He wouldn't have had Nolan. He's fortunate though that ball, because the bat was right there. The ball did not hit the bat and kick off somewhere else. Tonight the Rockies are 5 for 10 with runners in scoring position, where they were just 175 coming in to tonight's play on this trip.
I mean, you think about those ball games in Miami and the first 2 in Chicago, and the way the Rockies swung the bat on Wednesday and the way they swung the bat tonight. Fortunately, it seems like a distant memory.
It does, doesn't it?
Castro 1 for 3. 2-run single in the first.
But the difference, so in this game and what we saw in Chicago, I mean, you go down this lineup right now, everyone but Cargo has a base hit, the starting 8, but Cargo's got a walk and a sac fly.
So very much involved.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, we had talked about it down in Miami. We talked about it the first game in Chicago back in the studio. We were talking about everybody I talked to, what's wrong with the offense? Well, you just weren't getting production from everybody. It was 1 or 2 guys a night, not 5, 6, or 7 like you need.
And the nice thing to see is the bottom portion of the lineup, which, let's be clear, it's not been good.
No.
5 through 8 has not been good. And tonight, Story hitting in the 5 spot. This ball's well hit to right center field. Nimmo trying to chase it down, and he does. That's a great catch. Tagging his Cargo. He'll go second to third. Castro just got robbed on the hardest ball he's hit since coming back to the big leagues. Get to see the talent of Brandon Nimmo.
What did he tell us?
Yeah, I was going to say he ran a 6.5 60 his senior year in high school. Another reason he ended up in the first round.
And also the 400-meter champ in high school.
In the state of Wyoming.
In the state of Wyoming.
Here's the home run hitter, the slugger, Tony Walters. The Rockies up 8-2.
Well, for Tony, this was a relief. They wanted a high fastball. Right through it there, and Tony put it right where it needed to be in the second deck.
And for Tony, his 4th big league home run, because in 2016 he hit 3.
Mm-hmm.
He's a regular Nolan Arenado that year.
What did you say, 300 something bats in between?
He went 318. First and third, 2 outs. Seth Lugo in relief of Zach Wheeler. Cargo at third, Desmond at first. Eight runs, 11 hits for the Rockies. In the air to left, Cespedes will make the catch. Rockies get another run on the RBI single by Ian Desmond. They're up 8-2. Stretch time in New York. look back. A lot of things to look back on. First inning, an 0-2 base hit for Nolan Arenado. There's a double down the line for Trevor Story. This is all first inning action, by the way. 0-2 base hit up the middle to score 2 for one Daniel Castro. Tony Walters later on going big fly. And then he got the silent treatment in the dugout. His first home run since August of 2016. Whole lot of fun for the Rockies tonight, not so much so for the New York Mets. It's 8-2 Colorado. As we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, Brian Shaw will take over for German Marquez. And Marquez with a 6-inning, 2-run outing. He gave up just 6 hits, 8 strikeouts, didn't walk a batter. Now an opportunity for Brian Shaw to keep on working on some command issues. Do it with his club up by 6 runs. He'll face Jose Lobaton initially.
I think that's just been the key for Brian here, is just the command of that cut fastball.
Curveball's in there, which he doesn't throw many of, really more of a slider. Show that a little bit, and then it'll be hard cutters like that. And that looked like it was at the top of the Subaru strike zone, not called a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lobaton 1 for 2 tonight. And another breaking ball. Seth Lugo's on deck. And the Mets were playing yesterday. They didn't have a day off. And it's been a rough ride for them lately. So down by 6. Mickey Callaway saying, Seth Lugo, you're going to hit, even though they have 5 on their bench.
Yeah, but it's what they don't have in their bullpen today after
they lost Harvey.
They lost Harvey, so they're 1 guy short in their pen.
On the ground to first. Shaw covers. 3-1. And that will bring up Lugo. And again, if you did not hear, Matt Harvey met with Sandy Alderson, Mickey Callaway, Dave Island, there was another member of the front office there as well, at 3:15, and they wanted him to go to their complex in Port St. Lucie. He wasn't even to go to AAA. They wanted him to go all the way to Port St. Lucie and just work on certain mechanical things. And they said, you know, take some time to, you know, to think about it, talk to your agent. Well, evidently he flat out said no, because 45 minutes later the Mets had a press conference with Sandy Alderson, their general manager, presiding, and he said, you know, we've decided to move on. We've designated him for assignment. He declined going to our minor league complex. And
so now they have 10 days to figure out what's going to, or excuse me, 7 days now. They've changed that rule about what they were going to do with them.
They can outright release him, or they'll try to work a trade. They're not going to get, you know, they're probably not going to be able to work a trade, I think. So Matt Harvey, the Dark Knight, grew up on Long Island, is no longer with the Mets. 2-2 on Lugo, and he's gone. Strike 3.
Yeah, the first 10,000 fans through the gates for the Rockies Milwaukee Brewers game on May 12th will receive a Rockies toothbrush courtesy of Delta Dental. It's a Saturday game against the Brew Crew.
It's Ahmed Rosario, kid from Santo Domingo. He hit in the minor leagues, 291 minor league average. Some time in the big leagues last year. And another slider curveball. I don't know if we've seen him throw it back to back this year.
Let's see what Tony flashes. Elevated fastball.
which means cutter. He literally,
Yeah.
he can't throw the ball straight. Cutter away. And that's back past Bryant for a base hit. So that'll bring up Nimmo. This just didn't cut a bunch.
No, and it stayed on the same plane. Watch how that just stays on the same plane. So if the hitter sees that coming in, all it does is chase it to the barrel. And Brian's a little upset that he didn't catch it. That's coming back pretty hot.
Smidgen in. Ball one on Nimmo. A single in the first, scored on the 2-run home run by Cabrera. That's the entire offense this evening for the Mets. Strikeout and a fly ball to center field for Nimmo. First ever first-round pick from the state of Wyoming.
Look at what Mike Devereaux and Mike Lansing, where they were taken. A couple Casper guys.
Because Mike went on at a high school, the University of Florida. Devereaux went to Arizona State.
Yeah, but Devereaux played first, though, for Mesa Community College.
I'm sorry, Lansing went to Wichita State.
Yeah.
You know who I was mixing him up with? From a kid who went to Florida from South Dakota. Oh, man.
Oh, it's Ellis. You're thinking
Mark Ellis.
Mark Ellis.
Yeah. I knew you picked me up. Thanks,
Yeah, I got
brother.
you, buddy. I got you. Yeah, Devereaux went to Mesa Community College in Mesa, Arizona. Played against him, and then he went on to ASU.
2-2. Great block. It's a more difficult pitch to block because of the velocity that it's thrown at.
Well, and you also don't have the consistent angle of where it's going. So sometimes it'll go across more, sometimes it'll go down more. So you're just, it's a reaction where you're just kind of waiting till the pitch comes before anticipating where it's going.
And that pitch for Shaw is so nasty, he's not entirely sure.
Right.
And I don't mean that disrespectfully.
No.
It's just, you know, that's been part of his success. 3-2, and he loses him. Nimmo goes down to first. Now they're 2 on for Cabrera. This has kind of been the issue of late for Shaw, that he's walked a guy, given up a hit, dealing with a little bit of traffic.
Yeah, so Dougie did the research for us. Mike Lansing, Laser went in the 6th round. Devo, Mike Devereaux went in the 5th round. Oh, I forgot about Tom Browning, who was also from Wyoming. He went in the 9th round. And John Buck, the former catcher, I think he was from Green River or something, Wyoming, went in the 7th round.
And strike one on Cabrera. 32-year-old from Venezuela.
I'll take that back. It wasn't Green River. It was Kimmerer, Wyoming, for John Buck.
Kimmerer?
Kimmerer.
For John Buck.
Yeah.
2 strikes on Cabrera, and there's the strikeout to end the inning. And Cabrera frustrated. 2 men left aboard. We'll go to the 8th inning. The Rockies leading the Mets 8-2.
You want to be at Coors Field to see the Rockies take on the Milwaukee Brewers May 10th through the 13th. You can purchase your tickets at Rockies.com. That's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week after the Angels come to town. Pitch hitting for the pitcher Brian Shaw would be David Dahl.
So Dahl, Blackman, and Parra against Lugo. His curveball misses badly, 1-0. It looks like Shohei Ohtani is going to pitch this weekend. Means he would not pitch in Denver. It also looks like Albert is going to get hit number 3,000.
I was hoping.
I was hoping.
I was hoping that maybe something would happen. Nothing serious, but that it would come down to Coors Field.
And he's 1 shy.
Because that would have been, if he would have gotten it in Denver, that would have been the 3rd game that I've called with the guy hitting 3,000 hits.
We had Ichiro, we mentioned that the Biggio game
yeah.
also. Lugo throws out Dahl. Check some other news and notes. Again, Albert had a double last night. Boys have become the 32nd player in the history of the game with 3,000 hits. And the Dodgers and Padres are beginning a 3-game set tonight just south of the border in Monterey. That's great.
Earlier this year, what was it, just a week or so ago? 2-game set down in Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Charlie's had a great night. Single, home run, walk. 2 for 3.
The Rockies have also played down in Monterey, Mexico. We go back to 1999 when they played the Padres.
Then he signed like 6 million autographs. Down the left field line, leaking foul. Here's kind of the history of games played outside the United States or Canada and Puerto Rico. Monterey, Mexico has hosted the Mets and Padres, the Rockies and Padres, as Jeff alluded to. The Cubs and Mets in Tokyo, you know a little something about that. You played in that series.
Yeah, kind of like what's going to happen next year with the Mariners, where we went over there and played 2 exhibition games and then played 2 regular season games over in Tokyo. What a blast that was. Oh my goodness. I'd do that again in a heartbeat.
How far did your meal money go?
They gave us more because of the
because of the exchange,
yes. But that was a hoot. The travel over there was a little. I mean, it's not like we had to not fly first class or business class, but still.
You're coming from, well, you're coming from spring
So
training,
what we did,
right?
we left Scottsdale, flew to San Francisco, and then San Francisco to Tokyo. But on the way back, it was just direct from Tokyo to Chicago. So we took off at I think it was 7 o'clock on a Friday night in Tokyo, landed at 3 o'clock or 3:30 on Friday afternoon in Chicago.
It's a long
Yeah.
trip.
So I
always
bought
felt
some
like,
stock, and then I sold it when I got back, and I made some money.
There you go. I've always felt like on the occasions that I've been fortunate enough to be in the Far East, this is down the line right at J. Bruce. Coming back was harder
Yes.
than going over.
Yes.
In terms of body clock.
I would agree.
Next year, the Yankees and Boston are going to play in London.
Wow.
It's awesome.
Well, we had
I think
2
it's
days off.
great.
Yeah, when we came back from Tokyo, so we had 2 days off after we got back before we had to start playing again.
Right.
To, as you said, let our body clocks try to adjust.
Parr at the plate. Gerardo's got 2 singles and 4 at bats. Crowd of 34,030 tonight at Citi Field. Swing pitch goes in favor of Lugo. Seth Lugo is a 34th round pick, 2011. How about that? 1-2 outside.
A couple things. Great for the scout.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the guys that are putting in a lot of miles right now. Just thinking about the draft coming up.
He went to Centenary College in Louisiana, which at the time was a kind of a lower level D1 school. They're D3 school now. 3-2. Seth was a good high school athlete also. He high jumped 6'2" in high school.
Hunter on the football team.
Ball 4, so a walk. And you know the nickname for Centenary.
I don't. I love college nicknames, though.
They're the Gentlemen.
The Gentlemen.
Centenary Gentlemen. With 2 outs, here's a gentleman by the name of Nolan Arenado at the plate. Not so gentlemanly when he swings the bat.
We got the Rockies on the board with his RBI back in the first.
Infield hit as well tonight. He has scored 2 runs, 2 for 4. Nolan's weighted on base average, WOBA, which is a stat I like because it's basically, you know, your on base percentage, but it gives greater weight to extra base hits, which, you know, a guy like Nolan produces a great number of extra base hits. And since April 20th, his WOBA is 500.
And that's when he came back from the suspension, right? Is that the 20th?
Yeah, I think that's the date. Yep. That's a strike on the swing, 1-2. Doug said, was WOBA a character in Star Wars?
Well, it is.
And by my recollection, yes, it was.
It seems like you
Wasn't
saw
watching it that closely.
2/3 of the movie. Was it
WOBA
3/4?
Wan Kenobi.
Well, it is May 4th.
And Lugo strikes out Arenado. Parr left at first base. To the bottom of the 8th we go. The Rockies up 8-2. Cespedes will lead it off for New York. Performance. German Marquez, another outstanding outing. 2 runs over 6 innings. He struck out 8, didn't walk a batter. He had the fastball clicking up to 98 miles an hour tonight. That's 9 straight terrific starts for the Rockies rotation. They fashioned a 1.82 ERA over those 9 starts. Welcome back, Chris Russin.
Well, it's good to see Chris, because he last pitched on April 22nd against the Cubs. He had that right intercostal strain. Happened on the last pitch of that outing. And talking to Chris a couple days later after he'd gone on the DL, he just feels like he was in a really good place mechanically. So he's a little disappointed by that, but he felt like he got it before it became something bigger, where it was going to be a month or 6 weeks that he was going to be out.
Well, again, we were discussing that earlier with how the Rockies handled the hamstring of Carlos Gonzalez, how they handled the hamstring with DJ LeMahieu, getting out front and making sure that they were cautious at this point, as opposed to allowing guys to maybe press through and do further damage or come back a little bit too quick. You know, the Mets have dealt with a lot of injuries the last couple of years, and in fact, in the offseason, it cost their head trainer his job, Ray Ramirez.
Yeah,
been the trainer here for a while. Brian Chikla, who's been in the Mets organization for a long time, became the head trainer. But you know, whenever you have a job in professional sports, you're always under the microscope, and And fair or unfair, because guys get hurt. You can't blame that. 99% of the time, I don't think you can blame it on the trainer. But sometimes, I don't want to say he was scapegoated, but changes are made if an organization feels like, wow, there's been too many injuries. And the Rockies have been so fortunate. Back to Tom Probst, who's now the
TP.
TP's the head of on the medical side. He's still with the organization, but day to day, in the dugout, Keith Duggar and Scotty Garrett are as good as it gets in Major League Baseball. In fact, in the trainers' world, they're exceptionally well thought of across the four major sports.
Ray
leadoff walk to Cespedes.
Yeah, and Ray Ramirez here is a good guy. He was an assistant when I was with the Texas Rangers, so I've known Ray for a long time. And you're right, Drew. Sometimes it just is what happens. But I think the advantage, with Doogie is he's able to read between the lines when guys are talking to him. He's played the game. He played it. So he can know when guys, by kind of looking in their eyes, saying, okay, what's he really telling me? So between he and Scotty Garrett, they just a wealth of information and knowledge and trust.
And that's the big thing, trust between the players and the trainers, and the great trust, obviously, starting at the top with Jeff Bridich and Buddy Black, what they have with those guys. There is such a key component in the success of a club, getting guys back on the field, knowing when sometimes, as Jay Bruce pops this up, knowing when at the end of a night, they'll give a report to Buddy every night, and he may go in there and say, hey, you know what, Nolan's been grinding hard. He's played 20 straight. He goes, he won't say it, but he needs a day here in the next couple.
Yeah,
and that'll sometimes, it won't come from Nolan.
No.
Nolan wants to play every day. It's not going to come from a Charlie Blackmon.
No.
It's not going to come from a DJ. It's going to come typically from a Keith Duggar. He says, you know what, legs are tired. And that's when guys get hurt.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to say.
fatigue.
Yeah, but catch it before you then pull a muscle or strain a muscle.
This ball's hit a long way to left center by Frazier. And it's off the facade of the second deck. A two-run home run for Frazier, his 5th of the year. 8-4.
Fifth home run, 19th RBI for Todd Frazier. That's just kind of a cutter down and in to Frazier. He's done a lot of this in his career. Off the facade in the second deck.
It's his 180th career home run. A couple of years ago, he hit 40. Hit Fordo at the plate. Desmond's got it, 2 outs. And that'll bring up the catcher, Jose Lobaton. Came off the bat at 109 miles an hour, traveled 437 feet. Lobaton in from the right side, switch hitter. 111 batting average hitting righty, and the cutter's in there at the knees.
A.J. Ramos, former Marlins closer, up and throwing in the Mets bullpen. Jake McGee just got up about a minute ago and started throwing in the Rockies bullpen.
Lobatone off the end of the bat to Story, and that'll put down the inning. There was a walk and then a home run by Frazier. So it's 8-4 going to the ninth. Cargo will lead off for the Rockies. Leading 8-4 as we go to the top of the ninth inning. And coming up immediately following this ball game, the Toyota post-game show. 5 in the first for Colorado. They've added 3 since then. They've scored in 4 different innings. Cargo had a sac fly in that 5-run first. Also a walk tonight. He's 0 for 2 officially. Seth Lugo still out there for the Mets.
Lugo's 3rd inning of work.
Ball and a strike. And this is in the air to left. Cespedes will make the catch. Next up will be Trevor Story.
Trevor 1 for 3 on the night with a walk. Had a double right down the third base line. Part of the big 5-run first inning for the Rockies. Well, for Trevor, he's hitting 9 out of the last 12 games.
Out front just a little bit. Cespedes tucks it away, 2 gone, and that'll bring up Desmond. Desmond a couple hits tonight, including a single to drive in a run in the 7th. 2 for 4. I didn't ask Noel Cuevas today if he made a Starbucks run. Now, I know he couldn't have done it down here because, as Spilly and I were talking on Wednesday, if they made him do it here, he'd have more luck getting new rims or tires than he would finding a Starbucks near City Field. But they may, you know, before they left the hotel, may have made him run around the corner.
The only problem with that, though, is if you got something hot, it wouldn't be hot when you got here. It'd be cold. So you might as well just get all ice drinks then.
Yeah, could have done that.
That was a hoot. What?
That was funny.
Oh my goodness. What was the bill? $111 or $112?
It was $111.55. Taylor shared that bill.
Yeah, that's right.
On the air. Desmond goes down. Rockies need 3 more outs to shake hands. Up 8-4. And here's the pitching matchup tomorrow. Chad Bettis, who has been terrific all year long. He'll make his 7th start. He's 3-1, a 2.43 ERA. League's hitting just a little over the Mendoza line against him. And left-hand New York native Steven Matz will be on the hill, and he will be making his 6th start this year. He's got an ERA just under 5. We're on the air with our pregame show at 4:30 back home on AT&T Sportsnet.
Also for Steven Matz, it would be the 4th time that he's faced the Rockies in his career, but it hasn't been good. He's 0-2 with a 9 ERA against Colorado. For Jake McGee, 15th ball game of the season, 7 holds as you see there, 12 and a third inning, 12 strikeouts to just 4 walks.
This is Wilmer Flores, who's going to pinch hit for Lugo. First pitch strike. Flores, Rosario, and Nimmo, the scheduled 3 now. And that's on the outside corner for another strike, 0-2. So many guys, we've talked about it, going to that piece that protects the face. Talk to 1 or 2 guys that don't like it. It's not a vision thing. I've had a guy tell me that it adds weight naturally to the helmet, and that makes, for that individual, makes it a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, so it kind of pulls down a little bit on the helmet. I think that eventually you'll just get used to it.
Ball's hit well to center field. Blackman will have to field it on one hop off the wall. It'll be a leadoff double for Flores.
Flores is now 2 for 10 pitch hitting. He took that fastball, hit it pretty hard right over the head of Charlie, about 404 feet out. Soft bounce off the wall once it hits a warning track. Flores, his 4th double this season, 75th for his career.
Here's Rosario. He's 1 for 3. That's shortstop. That's out of play. Got to do this just in case.
Well, and it wasn't until after that double that was hit that they made the call down there.
The good thing about Wade, he's been around so long. He understands how to pace himself to get ready without overdoing it just yet. And that's a base hit, and that's going to score a run.
Only now he's going to start ramping it up more.
Ramp it up. Because now it becomes a safe situation. Tony just looked in the dugout. He's wandering out slowly to buy some time.
Inside out swing for,
I think right now one of the situations for Jake McGee, and he's a guy that's told me he gets stronger, and we've seen it in the past as the season wears on, where the fastball will actually pick up a couple miles an hour. But he's more 92, 93, and he'll spin it some more than he used to, but he used to be 95 to 97, and that's really all he threw.
Yeah, and now we'll see some more of those curveballs that he implemented 2 years ago.
Nimmo being a lefty.
Well, the other part you have right now too, though, is you're starting to get to the meat of the Mets lineup with Cabrera and Cespedes. A tough guy to double up in Nimmo.
And Buddy's coming out right now. That came from the dugout, that pick. And actually, even with the left-on-left situation, Buddy is so savvy when it comes to using bullpen. He doesn't want to wait till there's even more traffic out there potentially for Wade Davis, because Davis, the vast majority of the time, is getting a clean inning to work with.
Yeah, a little more margin for error.
Right. So he's going to come in with a man on, and the Rockies up 8-5 in the 9th. Nobody out. They're up 8-5. There's a man on in Rosario. He singled in Flores, who doubled, leading off the inning, and now the Rockies have had to call on Wade Davis, who's utilizing all 8 of his pitches here to
and
get loose, because he was throwing in the bullpen, but it wasn't at a furious rate. Here's the thing you always worry about, I'm sure, as a manager, as a pitching coach, and Wade is such a pro and he's at the top of his craft, but somehow in your mind, you remember this as an athlete, you weren't a closer, obviously you were a position player, but in your mind you almost feel like, well, tonight's going to be night off. 5-0 early, Rockies are up 8-2. Next thing you know is, wait a second, now they need me, and you have to flip the switch.
Yeah, I think probably, though, after they scored 2 runs in the 8th, I think that's maybe when it started to kick back in again. That, well, it's only 4 runs. If something really wacky happens, then yeah, I'll be in this. Brandon Nimmo has never faced Wade Davis in his young career. Wade 11 for 12 in save opportunities, first in the National League with those 11 saves, second in all of baseball.
And the league is hitting just 122 against him. Nimmo tonight, a single and a walk, 1 for 3. And this will get 1 out. Now it'll bring up the second baseman, is Drupal Cabrera. 2-run home run back in the first. Since then, a couple of strikeouts and a fly ball to deep left.
Cabrera is 4 for 8 career-wise against Wade.
Longtime Cleveland Indian. 3rd season now with the Mets. Each of his first 2 years, he hit .280, right on the dot. First pitch strike at 93. In his career, he's a .270 hitter. Get a chance to ask Wade if he got to go home yesterday. Wade, his wife, they live less than 2 hours north of the city.
I'm sure he snuck home for a little bit.
That's a late time granted by home plate umpire Bruce Dreckman.
Like what Wade did. Go ahead and throw the baseball.
Yeah.
Don't try to stop and then end up pulling a muscle.
Rosario at first, 1 out.
Filthy.
It's in an unhittable location. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It looks good as a left-handed hitter. Looks like, oh, I can get to that. That's the disappearing slider.
Good job by Tony to block that. 2-2. hit a ton to right center field. Cargo can't make the catch. It stays in play. Coming to the plate is Rosario. Cabrera to third with a triple.
He's made the Rockies pitchers pay for 2 bad pitches. The home run in the first against Herman, and then this pitch belt high on the Subaru Super Mode to Cabrera. And Cargo gave it a gallant effort, just running down, reached up, and just ran out of opportunity to get there. That was a foot or two over his glove. Now it's an 8-6 game.
It's 8-6, and Yoenis Cespedes is at the plate representing the tying run. And the Mets fans, 32,000+, all of a sudden alive and well.
Cespedes 3 for 7 in previous matchups.
You got 2 tough customers back to back. Cespedes and Bruce. In a game the Rockies have dominated throughout. You have a runner at third, and it's just a 2-run game with 1 out. And the Mets have caught the Rockies in the hit department, both teams with 11. This one's a little more interesting than it should be.
Exactly. Going to the bottom of the 8th inning, and you're up 8-2.
Cespedes, watched him from afar for years. He will not get cheated.
No.
And he's thinking one thing. The guy on deck's going to be thinking one thing. Trying to hit the ball from here to Brooklyn.
Well, left field, Gerardo Parra is really backed up.
One and two. That's out of play.
Boy,
they got away with one, because that was designed to be, you can tell by where Tony set up. He wanted that above the strike zone, well above the strike zone.
Yeah, he comes out of the crouch. And then that ends up being belt high. He's fortunate that one wasn't hit out of the ballpark.
He wants the curveball. Maybe he can bury it. He did. Cespedes held up. 2-2. Sometimes you can feed into the aggressiveness, Huey, of a player in this situation. Like
that's why
Cespedes.
they went. Yeah, that's why they went with the curveball.
See if they double up on that.
Well, wherever it is, make sure it stays away from his power. Yeah, they are doubling up. Good call, Drew.
A lot of action on him, a lot of bite. Tough spin rate. He was there, but Cespedes didn't offer at it, and now it's 3-2. And now the advantage swings to Cespedes, because he knows Davis has to come in there. He does not want to put the tying run on. Strike 3 at the knees with some cut on it, 2 outs. He missed location with this.
And sometimes you don't get that call if you miss location where Tony wanted it and had to reach down and then more across his body. But this was a definite strike. Good job by Bruce Dreckman not to give up on her, just assume because it wasn't in the exact location that it's not a strike.
So here is Jay Bruce, a single and 4 at bats. One and out.
Jay's 0 for 2 career against Wade.
Both runs this inning charged to Jake McGee. He faced 2 hitters. They both got hits. They both have come around to score. Two and out.
This Mets lineup with those veterans that we showed on the graphic earlier with Jay Bruce. You have Cabrera, you have on deck Todd Frazier. We just saw Cespedes. I mean, they've been around the block a few times. They've been in these situations.
Two balls and a strike on Bruce. Came to start him with the Cincinnati Reds. Wade with the 2-1. 3-1. Nope. And now the tying run on. And the winning run will come to the plate with 2 outs in Todd Frazier.
Get a pinch runner at first and Jose Reyes. Bruce Dreckman looking inside, kind of giving the indication of where that pitch was. Todd Frazier with the home run off of Chris Russin in the 8th inning. More speed at first too, with Reyes pinch running for Jay Bruce.
And ball 1.
Of the 20 pitches, just 9 for strikes for Wade.
Rifled foul down the line.
Now the Rockies have gone to that no doubles, especially with Nolan guarding the line and Todd Frazier up, and then Gerardo, he's probably only 2 steps in front of the warning track in left field. I guarantee you Desi won't come very far off of first base. He'll take it just a step to make sure nothing sneaks inside the bag.
Frazier's an inner half guy.
Yeah,
He's looking to yank the
He's
baseball.
looking for one thing and one thing only.
Wade has not been able to land the curveball so far tonight. Little more drama than the Rockies bargained for after getting off to the 5-0 start and being up 8-2 going to the 8th. 2-1. Cabrera tripled in a run. Reyes is running for Bruce, who just walked. 2-2. And a base hit to left. It's a one-run game. Reyes will go first to third. Safe.
Three RBI night for Todd Frazier. Oh, that was a slider that stayed up in the zone. Hard on the one hop, and that's why they pinch ran Jose Reyes. It was close at third base. But by the time Nolan went to pick it, and then Reyes got that right hand in. Right there, just snuck it in before the tag on the hip.
So it'll come down to Wade Davis against Michael Conforto.
Well, and you've got good speed too at third with Reyes, so if it's a ball in the dirt or maybe skips by Tony, he's going to try to score, you know that.
Conforto's 0 for 4. Reyes came 35 feet down the line. Swung on and missed. Conforto, one of the building blocks for the Mets. Again, 27 home runs last year. Off to a very slow start, though, offensively.
I think this is where it's advantage Wade, because Conforto's never seen him before.
Called strike 2.
First time tonight he's been able to land that one.
And now he's working way ahead, which he really hasn't been able to do yet also. Tying run at third, winning run at first. 0-2. Saw that move by Tony. In case there was any swing, he wanted to make sure he applied a tag immediately. And didn't have to throw the baseball.
You also have to be careful because Nolan's so far away from third base that it allows Reyes to get so far down the line.
Especially with the upside down count. Will you take a gamble? 1-2. Whoa, close. 2-2. And Frazier just took second.
How did you take that one if you're Conforto?
2 balls, 2 strikes. Got him! Ball game over. Whoa! You can breathe again back in the Rockies. Colorado survives 8-7. Wade Davis gets the save. It was not easy.
Wow. Well, he goes with the curveball. Wade's not. He kind of shaking his head because he knows it didn't come out. It was a backup, but you got away with it. And yeah, you're right, Drew. You can breathe now. I mean, 8-7 in this ball game.
8-7 in a ball game. The Rockies led 8-2, and the winning run was at second base when that one ended. But guess what? It goes in the W column, and the Rockies are now 18-15. German Marquez gets the victory, his second of the year, Wade's 12th save, and that's why having a guy not only as gifted as Wade Davis, but as unflappable in the 9th inning is so important. 8-7 Rockies. The Toyota postgame show is next from here in New York.